Alright, my Cyclone champion is doing just fine, and I was able to run Cyclone through the entire campaign, which I would not recommend, but I played through the campaign multiplayer. My brother was able to carry me as a Smite champion, so that I was able to experience Cyclone through the entire campaign. Now, Cyclone really sucks through the campaign because it requires higher levels of the gym in order to reach more stages when you Cyclone. Cyclone builds up these stages, and until you get to 5 stages, the build just really sucks. The skill really sucks. It got a few buffs. It got an area of effect buff and a minor damage buff, and those buffs are in fact noticeable. Cyclone champ is doing very well in my opinion, and I am loving it. Day 1, I've made it to about like mid yellow map. 6 to 8 is where I am at, and I am slaughtering it. I got this Bringer of Rain for 2 chaos. This is what I'm doing for my 6 link. It is a pseudo 6 link, actually 7 link. You get blind, faster attacks, and melee physical damage, all level 30. You get all the stats you need. You get block chance, you get damage to attacks, you get armor and evasion, life. You even get a chance to get endurance charges when you block. Only downside is you can't use chest speeds, but early on, that is not a downside, that is an upside. You're saving yourself one more piece of gear that you need to find and buy. And 6 links are expensive at the start, and then they get really cheap later on. So I really love Bringer Rain. For me, if you're a melee build, this is the #1 starter item in the game, hands down, by far, bar none. I'm also pairing that with this bad boy, Thief's Torment, also a 2 Chaos Orb item. You get 44 life when you hit an enemy with an attack and 30 mana. This will sustain Cyclone. Cyclone costs 5 mana. When you totally pump it up, you're looking at 17 mana. So as long as you're hitting an enemy, you are getting all of your mana back, and you don't need any mana leech. I still have the 1 mana leech node here, right? But this doesn't really work that well unless you pump up your regeneration rates, and the amount that you generate doesn't really work that well. But I have it anyways. This ring allows me to sustain all of my life and all of my mana. Pretty great. And it also reduces curse on you. So it's a pretty good starter ring. And again, you don't have to worry about getting another ring. It's got really high all res. Only thing that's missing is life, right? You can see my life, 2,500, very low. It's not going to take me into the in-game of red maps or anything like that. So I will need to replace this, and I will need to replace this. Once I'm probably around tier 13, I will replace these. Until then, I can just save all of my chaos. This guy I got for like 3 divine. He maxes out my resistances, gives me life, physical damage, pretty much everything I need. I got this guy for like 2 chaos orbs. I keep saying divines, I think. I mean chaos orbs for all of these, right? This is 5 chaos orbs, 2 chaos orbs. This one actually dropped, and it's just fucking gorgeous. Jesus. 30% movement speed, spell suppression, strength, cold. I need all of this except for the prefix for armor and evasion, but even that doesn't hurt. This is just an incredible rolled boot, and I am so happy it dropped. It is so good. And then I'm pretty sure I gambled for this one. Cold, lightning, you know, it's pretty good little belt. So my gear is much better than I was expecting at this point in the game. Really solid pieces. And then for these bad boys, I got this one for 15 chaos orbs. I spent a little more, and I got this one for 5 chaos orbs. 2 pretty good little swords that are going to allow me to crit and hit and crit. It's going to be pretty dope. They are pretty great. I wish they had a higher crit chance, but it works totally fine. Here is where I currently am. I'm going to be pathing into here to get these sword nodes to get that 35% increased damage, because I need the damage. As I level up, I'm going to do that. Ideally, I'm going to grab and remove these 2, but for now, I do kind of need that for my fire resistance. My lightning is cracked, my cold is cracked, so ideally, I'll drop these 2, get a jewel with fire res, pop it in there, and that'll allow me to have 1 more node. Either way, looking very sexy, looking very good, looking very, very sweet. So let's take a look at what my build can actually do. Incomplete. I just look for one that's incomplete, and I run it, but do a lot of direct. Might as well show if I can remember how to get there. This is the Atlas strategy I'm starting with. I rushed this bad boy to get plus 20 Atlas passive points. I use those Atlas passive points to go here, and go here, and go here to get the Kurak, to get the maps. I felt it was kind of a nice strategy, so that's what I did. And I'm obviously bifurcated in my mind. I was gonna head up here and get big bombs, and then I obviously changed my mind and went shrines. So I'm, you know, just an idiot. And for my, I guess I should show my skill setups and everything. In my Cyclone, I am doing Cyclone of Tumult. Now this bad boy actually got to level 20. It does 5% more attack speed per stage. This is why I can actually do a little bit of damage with Cyclone, because I'm using this variant of Cyclone. Now it really increases your attack speed, so it is a mana-hungry pig. So again, Thief's Torment really pairs well with Cyclone of Tumult, because it keeps your mana up and it keeps your life up. Impale support. Pretty dope, pretty dope. I need to get that leveled, jeweled up so I can get 10% increased Impale effect, but whatever. Pulverize support, always a classic for Cyclone, and volatility support because I really didn't have anything else to grab. I figure because this one is 18 to 353, and this one, you know, is a little not quite as drastic, but this one has a drastic difference between the high and the low. I figured volatility is going to be pretty strong for that. And I might even be able to, if I haven't checked the price of Perseverance, that's going to be my in-game belt. But for now, this is a bad boy, is what I need because it has resistances. But once I get Perseverance, it'll be pretty great. My Mercenary, show Mercenary, I was able to get one that has Call of Steel and Lancing Steel, which is pretty great because I am also impaling. My whole build is impale. This is ranged. He also has Grace, which is giving me evasion, and he has Dash, which keeps him in the action. And because he has Grace, I am able to use Pride, Haste, and Blood and Sand. Now, Blood and Sand I might take off because it does take a little bit more mana. And you can see when I'm not hitting enemies, that Cyclone of Tumult eats my mana pool almost instantly. So I really gotta be in the thick of it. And it gets me into a bit of danger from time to time if it's not in there. So I'm going to start in Sand Stance. So you can see the buff of Cyclone is actually pretty substantial when it comes to AoE. The AoE is pretty damn decent, if I do say so myself. We got a big ol' fatty on that Cyclone. Big ol' fatty of damage. Let's get some of those bad boys. I am pleasantly surprised with its performance at Yellow Map. I am shredding through these maps like it is no big deal. It is pretty damn excellent. I haven't done a lot of work with the mercenaries yet. This is the only mercenary I've really found that kind of works with me. I'm really hoping to get a Cyclone mercenary and have a bunch of Cyclone boys. Eventually I would probably want to get the Savior and see if I could put the Savior. Ooh, what do we got? We got an Earthshaker. That's a good glove there. No. Leap Slam, Intimidate, Volvite. No. You don't have it. So let's just steal some of your gear. Do you have anything I want? No, you don't really have anything I want, so I'm just gonna take these guys. Take item. I've been killing them all because why the fuck not? Well, that's why not. They do hit hard sometimes, and they go hard, and they whip my ass from time to time. Hit me with a nice little earthquake. That's the downside of only having 2,500 life. Sometimes they are a bit an asshole. They have whooped my ass on several occasions, which is excellent, right? Completely excellent. I feel bad for hardcore players who are figuring this out. They go hard sometimes, but it's pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Because if it was just you pop in there and you instantly kill them, it'd be pretty lame. But some of them are pretty jacked. Some of them are pretty fucking jacked. The Divine Ire boys, if they hit you with their Divine Ire, seems to be real strong. And what just got me was an Earthquake, and those seem to be also pretty cracked out. So some of the mods that they can get are very, very strong, and I love it. I think it's great. I was expecting them to be pushovers, and they are not, and that is excellent. See, I just ran out of mana right there. Pretty annoying. But that's the price you pay for Cyclone of Simone. You can see the tincture that I've had up for quite a while. That's Thief's Torment, allowing me to run that tincture basically this entire time. The tincture pops off, and when the tincture pops off, you do have to pop out. And with Cyclone, you can have them just kind of follow you like this, and you're actually doing quite a bit of damage with your bleeds, because when they move and bleed, you know, it does more damage. You kind of want to make them move and bleed when you get a thick boy like this. But I'm at block cap, right? And my evasion is pretty good. What are my defenses? I'm evading 48% of the attacks. Wait, no. I'm evading 59% of the attacks, and my armor reduction is 53. And then I got 88% block chance. It's capped at 78, but you know, I'm up there. And that's because I have this anointed, very cheap anoint. Gray, teal. You get 8% movement speed, 10% block chance. So technically, I could drop out. I could maybe, can't quite drop out all of that one, but I could drop some block nodes if I wanted to. I'm 10 over, so I can't block all those out, but if I can find 6 block somewhere, I can drop that pretty easily, which is pretty great. I'm picking up these bad boys. I still need all this loot, right? So I have to open up this shit. So for the most part, I'm just having a damn dandy of a time. I'm having a dandy of a time. Let's put back in stance, get that AoE going. I need to tighten up my filter, it looks like. Crafting receipt. Tincture on. Boss absolutely slaughtered. Complete win, complete victory. Absolutely amazing. Having big time fun. This build is just wrecking the game so far. Very inexpensive. Not a lot going on. Nothing special here. Just getting some impale, some defenses, a little bit of damage. I guess I could talk about +3 to strike radius, +3 to strike radius. I'm grabbing this whole node because you're getting an extra 6 total, and you're getting 3 here. So the swords are pretty great for this. You're getting a lot of area of effect from these swords, and you get a bonus from Cyclone. Let's just go ahead and let's run another fatty. You got another fatty for me that I haven't finished? Complete, complete, incomplete. This is going to be a white map. Reflect Fizz. Good thing I read that. Karak is my boy. He's been feeding me maps this whole time. It's been pretty damn great. I got nothing but positivity over this league, I gotta say. It's been very nice. I still wish I had AWSD, but I've gotten reused to the old way. For me, I don't know, fucking frog in my throat. Drinking that coffee in the morning. For me, the AWSD allows me to focus on one more thing. When I'm playing this game, I have to focus on my character in one, so where I'm at, positioned at. Then I gotta focus on all the on-ground effects. Then I have to focus on my mini-map and where the loot goes, and the enemies, like ball effects. It's a lot for me to focus on. And, I prefer not focusing on any of that. Ooh, we got a fucking Spectral Helix guy. But because he's doing elemental damage, and as a massive champion, I'm doing Impale. And nearby allies deal 6 to 12 physical damage for each Impale on an enemy, and I'm impaling 7 times. That is a big ol' stack of damage that I'm adding to my mercenary. And I only want to do mercenaries that will allow me to do physical only damage. So this guy will be getting murdered. Will be getting completely slaughtered. And I feel that the elemental boys have a better advantage over the physical boys when fighting these mercenaries. Because you can look through here and you can identify what elemental resistance they're weak to, and you can just kind of fuck them. So let's take this item and let's see if we can get a win after that last loss. He's freezing me up. He's freezing my mercenary up. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. Thank you for your items. You are now dead, and you are also a big time loser. I am a winner. You are a loser. You have to degrade them a little bit, right? Or they won't, you know, come back for vengeance. You don't degrade them. And then you need to come back for the vengeance. I still haven't learned how to do this. I just randomly click shit. Plus ranks and whatever. Well, I'm probably gonna learn how to do it this league, but not yet, right? Not yet. I don't wanna take the time. I don't enjoy learning things like that very much. I'm more about build crafting than loot farming or loot strategies or learning mechanics super deep. I just don't enjoy it that much, especially that one. I find that one to be very tedious. My bro really likes it. He learned how to do it before the Divine and Exalted Orb switch. He used to just constantly do Leo slamming, and he can get Leo to where Leo at research, I think it was, just over and over and over again. He's a big fan. Me, not so much. Different strokes, different folks. And I think that's probably one of the highest qualities of Path of Exile, is there's just so many ways to play it. So much different content to cater to your taste. See that extra gore, extra blood, extra body parts? That's a bringer rain, baby. I'm like poisoned, and I gain so much life just spinning. 40 life per hit. Will it show what my attack speed gets up to? Attacks per second, 4.46 at base. Let's see if it'll actually show it go skyrocketing as I get the charges going. Attacks per second, 11.24, and I'm getting 12.58. And I'm getting life regeneration on each one of those hits. So it just kind of, I really tried to dash. I really did. I was being slowed, and he was looking at my face, and I got stomped on. That is the downside with the low life. You can sustain as many small hits as you want, but as soon as a big boy comes with his big old fat dongarooski, he will wreck your face and smash it and make you feel like a loser bitch. But you know what? I don't even acknowledge those losses. I just come back and pretend it didn't happen and just finish the fucking job. Look at my dude. Look at my dude taking that hit. He hasn't died since I've hired him on. My mercenary has not died since I've hired him on. But I don't really know how to change his gear. I think it's all locked. I think he's fixed with this gear set. I don't think I can change it. He's lacking some cold resistance, which means he might die from cold. But so far, he just hasn't died. He has been Santana Champ the entire time. It's been pretty great. I just recently swapped a Pride after I did get that champion who has Grace, and since he has Grace, I don't really need Grace. So it's going to allow me to use Pride and Haste, just a bunch of damage. And as a champion, I'm pumping those up. I mean, not yet, but once I get my final lab, I am going to be grabbing the auras and pumping this shit up. Gonna pump up the haste, it's gonna pump up the pride. Not sure it pumps up blood and sand, but I'm gonna remove that. And the end game, I'm actually thinking of actually building an aura stacker. Now that I know the champs are pretty nice, I kind of want to make them their best self. I want to do a self-health class for my champion, for my mercenary. I use the wrong names all the time, right? The name of things doesn't really matter, right? As long as you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And for the most part, you... enemy stun? Nah. You probably don't know what I'm talking about because I'm using the wrong names for everything. But my mercenary, I want to turn him into a fucking god. Not this mercenary, right? I need to find the Cyclone mercenary. And then we can Cyclone together. And I can put a savior on him. I can put a savior on me. I might even do some general cry. And just have everybody spinning. Everybody winning. And that'll be pretty fucking great. And when I get Cyclone, I do intend to put Thief's Torment and Bringer of Rain on my mercenary, if possible. So far, it hasn't let me swap out their gear that much, but once it lets me put their gear in there, I think I'm gonna do Thief's Torment for sure. If I can get one that does Cyclone and Thief's Torment, he's never gonna die. He's gonna spin, he's gonna gain life and mana on hit, and he won't die. He just won't. You won't be able to kill him, because they seem to be ultra tanky with life. And be able to withstand big old body slams. And then they're gonna have that regeneration that's gonna be bonkers. Bonkers regeneration. Ideally, I'd find one with Frostblink and Cyclone. If I can get a Frostblink, Cyclone, Mercenary, oh man, that's gonna be great. Yeah, I got ya. You tried to run away, but you couldn't. I gotcha. You're dead. Give me your shit. I love that I don't have to pick these up anymore. Super great. I only pick them up if they look good. It's not the highest damage you'll ever see, but you got all the quality of life of Cyclone, and you can clear the shit. You can get the shit done. I'm leveling up, I'm getting maps done, I'm getting into reds. This has been just a flawless execution of a plan. I made a plan, I followed the plan, and the plan fucking worked. And it feels great. Now, I would not recommend campaigning, running the campaign with Cyclone. It does not feel great. It just cannot output the damage. Maybe if you had Cyclone with Tumult, it would be a fourth of the damage of Sunder. My little bro was playing a two-handed, not Sunder, Smite. He's playing a two-handed Smite build. And he was doing, at minimum, 10x my damage. 10 times my damage with Cyclone. So I definitely don't recommend Cyclone as a campaign runner. Now, I hate the campaign. I never focus on the campaign, and luckily my brother plays and he's got the campaign memorized, so I just follow him around and he does everything. So advice from campaign, I don't really hand out because I don't even know where to go in the campaign yet, because I'm always playing with my brother and he's always leading the way, so I'm always just following, so I never really know what the fuck I'm doing on the campaign. And I hate it. I hate it to the max. Whenever I start new characters, I have all the good gear, the boots, the 50 movement speed boots, so I can run through the campaign. It still takes me 6 hours with the best gear, the best leveling gear. Still takes me 6 hours. So campaign, not what I am concerned about. Excellent build, in my opinion. A big part of that is I've gotten pretty lucky with this boot drop. This boot drop is pretty solid. My defenses are pretty damn good. Armor not that important, but evasion is solid. Block chance is capped. Spell suppression is at 70% and it's lucky. I'm gonna grab that, so it'll be at 75% and it's lucky. So it's probably around 90-95% spell suppression, which is totally fine for this point in the game. I will need to get better spell suppression, probably on my body armor once I replace the Bringer of Rain, or I can get it better on here. I think you might be able to grab them from the special juices on these gloves, the one that's giving me 1 rage on attack and then 3 damage per 100 intelligence. I might be able to get spell suppression there. There's other ways to get spell suppression. And once I stop using Bringer of Rain, I can actually get it on the helmet. So I just grab spell suppression on the helmet, and ideally I'll be able to get rid of the lucky spell suppression by grabbing that one and get to 100%, because you do need to be at 100% at in-game, or you will die from basically every spell that hits you. Alright, that was my day 1. Very good day 1. I made it to level 77. I just leveled to 78 while you were watching me. Tier 8 maps was my highest map. Fucking 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 league, man. Very nice. Well done, GGG.